Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? We rewrite the rules. The countdown has begun. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm confused.
I'm stressed.
Hi-ho.
I got stressed early this morning.
No, not yo. A fishing I will go, but alas, my lasses and laddies, not today. Good Monday morning. Great to see everyone is safe and sound out here this morning. We do appreciate it. I'm Rayford Brown, and this is Girl Guy version of Live and Locals Real Talk Girl Review, All Girl Review. That was last Friday, right?
That was Friday.
Okay.
And Miss Elsie's already said, good morning, Fisherman and Lee. Good morning, everyone. I'm Lee Girls. Happy Monday.
Speaking of all that, first, the presentations of appreciation. How does that sound to you? Lee, you jumped on board like the pro that you are. Got the ball rolling, kept it rolling all morning long on Friday. And, of course, my wife, Robbie, who gets two thanks. One, for not just letting me go fishing 3 days last week, but encouraging me to get out of the house.
No,
That's not exactly what she said, but I'm sure that's what she meant. And then for sitting in the co-pilot's chair, assisting you with keeping the morning on an even keel.
And she did.
Speaking of even keels, that's always a great thing on the water. A big old thanks to a friend for the past 10 years or so, Captain Brian Slasinski, for inviting me in the first place to fish with him during the Carteret Community College Fishing Tournament he called, sometime back in the spring. What we won was worth to me a lot more than any trophies or prize money. A great time fishing as a team aboard Brian's boat, an opportunity to enjoy our natural environment and to enjoy life as a sailor when so many others thought it might be a little too dicey to venture out there. For most of those folks, okay, I have to agree. I've agreed with your decisions in the past, and I still will agree with them. If you, your boat captain, or the boat aren't up to the challenge, and a lot of that readiness is based on your experience, then trust your instincts and don't go. In Captain Brian's case, with his boat, and having him aboard my boat many times in the past, and therefore I know his capabilities, I was never the least bit concerned. I even enjoyed the brief freshwater showers we got periodically to rinse off the saltwater spray. Nature's blessing, as far as I was concerned.
I kept checking the radar.
And I have a refrigerator full of fish. If you, your family, your work buddies, whoever, would like to experience some great Onslow Bay fishing, especially around that Cape Lookout area, just let me know. I'll be glad to shoot you Captain Brian's telephone number. You will not find a better captain or a better mate. He's got a new kid, a young man.
Right.
He's had never seen salt water until a couple of years ago when he moved here from Wisconsin. But I mean, he worked the big waters up there, like in the Great Lakes.
All right.
So, but anyway, he's learned a whole heap in 2 years. That's all I can tell you, because there's a whole lot of stuff he knew. Okay.
Well, I'm glad you got to go fishing.
So am I. I'm glad we got fish. I've had it twice already.
I kept checking the radar during the day while you were out there, and I'm like, well, I hope they're here and not there.
Well, we could look at it and see where we did not need to be, and we could maneuver around a little bit, and we did. But we don't get wet. I when it started raining on one of the occasions, I went out from inside. We got cover. But I walked back under the aft deck, sat down in the fishing chair, the fighting chair, and just waited. I said, if the fish lights it up, I'm here first.
But the whole thing is you were out there in the water, breathing that fresh ocean air, and that changes everything.
And Saturday, it came my turn. We generally fight the fish in a rotation. We go for that.
I want to hear the big fish story.
Yeah, well, it's a fact, because I got pictures.
Wait, where's the ruler?
No, go ahead. You don't even have to deal with the ruler on this one.
I heard you got a 40-pounder?
Yeah. It's an estimated 40 because we turned it loose.
Okay.
It The line went off, and I am so glad there was a lot of line on that reel because she started spooling. That means it was peeling line, peeling line,
Right.
peeling line. And a situation like that, you do not tighten the drag because if you do,
Right.
the fish that is running 500 miles an hour is going to
Yeah,
snap
yank
your
that
line
hook, right?
or pull the lure right out of its mouth.
Pulled hook, pulled
So
hook.
it took off, and but just let it run. Give it a little bit of drag on it just to tighten it down, so it would expend some energy trying to pull it
Right,
off. So
Right.
there's a little technique you use. Like you could go to a certain point, you go beyond that, click, bang, snap, gone.
Yeah.
If you stay just below that, then the fish gets tired. Then
You
you
know,
can
but that's
bring
part
it
of
in.
the that's
It's
real
what it's all
catching.
about.
We used to go out on on some of the big charter boats
Mhm.
out of Moorhead, like Continental Shelf,
Mhm.
the Carolina Princess.
Yep, great
We
boats.
go 50, 60 miles out. And, of course, you're out there and the water is deep. So generally when
Anything over your head is deep, right?
true. But, boy, you talk about reeling it in. Real.
Yeah, bottom fishing in 150 feet of water is a lot of line to bring in,
That's a lot of
especially with fish
muscle
on it.
power. But some guy at the end of the boat has got an electric reel, and he's hitting a button. It's like, psst, and I was like, "That's cheating. That's not fishing. Go
Yeah.
away."
There are a lot of guys that do that, and
Mm-mm.
but this fighting this one that was peeling offline, and finally I got him turned. He started wearing down, and he
Right.
started coming my way with me. Did not fight me too much, but it was heavy. It was still heavy, and I got him up to the boat, and Brian was right there. We were all excited. There were three of us on the boat at that time, and we were just excited,
Awesome.
really
And
excited.
what kind of fish was it?
It's a barracuda.
Really?
Yeah.
Barracuda.
Oh, this
There's a
barracuda.
song.
When I got some close-ups of the teeth as well, and of course Captain Brian was wearing flip-flops, his sandals, and he's like jumping out of the way. The fish is flopping. He got the lure out of his mouth,
Mm.
and it's a big old cedar plug lure. So
Did you take pictures of it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
With the
okay. I wanna
jaws
see.
and everything. I'm going to download those
I
today,
want to
and
see
it's
the
going to be fun.
pictures.
I'll download them and upload them. So
All right,
download them from
good.
the camera. So anyway, we got that, and I got some cool pictures while I was out. So,
Well, how exciting. Sounds like you had a great time.
and Brian quickly picked the fish up and put him back in his natural environment. We're not going to eat him.
Yeah.
Go back to the waters.
Yeah.
Go get somebody else's line and give them a thrill. I tell you what, I did take the troops fishing with a club, the Onslow Bay Saltwater Fishing Club years
yes.
ago.
I remember
And,
that.
I took, I think I had 4 young Marine officers on board,
Oh,
and we went out and we caught fish, and they kept
pretty
hollering,
cool.
"Can you catch us? Can we get a shark? Can we get a shark?" I said, "If we find a shrimp boat, any fishing boat out there that's dumping their byproduct over the trash fish and stuff,
right.
we'll get behind it, and I'll get you a shark. Now, I just hope you're prepared for it. It might be a 3-footer, it might be a 6-footer, but if it's whatever it is, it's going to be a shark." We didn't get one, so I was not unhappy with that because I hate them. But I tell you what, if y'all want a really good fight, a 42-inch or something like that fish that weighs around 40 pounds, pound for pound, muscle for muscle, the barracuda is one fighting fish.
You do realize this is Shark Week.
I didn't catch any sharks.
No, but it is
They're
Shark
afraid
Week.
of me.
And they're saying, I read an article the other day that said more and more now are migrating this
Mhm.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to do with, water temperatures and stuff.
Well, to me, the real honest to goodness fishing season is just ahead of us. It's the early fall and
Spot.
into the winter.
I love
This
catching
is
spot.
a good time for you guys, and the waters quite often calm down, especially offshore. If you want to get out there with some and just do some offshore trolling or some offshore bottom fishing. Brian does both. He goes after grouper. If you like grouper, I don't. And I'd rather be trolling.
We need
and
to
waiting.
get a big group and charter a big boat.
Oh,
Yes.
we got a big boat right
Yeah,
there waiting
I
for
think
us.
we need to do it. That would be fun. Live and local on the water.
All right, it's Monday, and
Yes.
it's been a busy weekend and some stuff. I tried to play catch up and look back, see what was going on. I'm disgusted.
Oh, Saturday I worked hard at catch up. I was
Well, I'm
exhausted.
disgusted with what's going on in the world. But
Oh,
anyway,
oh,
okay.
here we
So
go.
here we go. Here's one thing I never did understand, and this one over the weekend up in Greenville area, it just really kind of takes the cake for me. Domestic cases. Still trying to understand why people have to be so mean with each other. So much of our crime and violence revolves around domestic fights. Oftentimes, those fights involve a couple, married or not, they're still a couple.
They're the worst.
Sometimes it's between exes, people who are no longer married or together. Then there are other relatives involved, fights between parents and their teenage kids, for instance. That's a domestic violence case. Fights between siblings, old brother, sister, whatever. If you can't get along,
Walk away.
take a lesson from the boxing matches. Go to your separate corners and stay there. Or just split the sheets. Go your own way. Violence is not necessary. Everyone suffers. Some, if not all, go to jail or the hospital or the morgue.
Right.
I've seen it all.
Yes.
Greenville lawmen have a massive manhunt still underway unless something happened overnight following more violence that all started over some sort of domestic violence situation. Friday, Pitt County deputies say a 27-year-old man chased a woman into a store. He was armed with a handgun. The woman jumped the counter and hid in a back room. A couple of bystanders in the store contained this man for a little while, held him, not at bay, physically restrained him still with a flailing handgun. He had already fired off a couple of shots. He left, leaving behind his truck. Poor man. Canizia, you go for it. I'm not going to. Johnson is still on the lam.
Okay.
And a large contingent of lawmen from across the county are looking for him up in Pitt. He's considered armed and dangerous. I would say the gun that he had and firing off some shots and fighting and chasing his wife or girlfriend or whatever, that makes him dangerous. Several warrants are already on file, including attempted murder. Authorities warn against civilians trying to take action. Don't do that. Call 911 if you see him. If you know where he is, if you know who he is, you know where he is, notify the Popo. His photo is displayed all over the media pages, the Facebook pages, the media websites up in the Greenville, Washington, New Bern area. Though several shots were reportedly fired, thank goodness no one is believed to have been hurt. All right.
Well, they were putting out alerts the other day on social media saying, anyone in that area, stay in your house, lock your doors and windows, don't come out. I'm like, what is going on?
They locked down some streets and stuff like that.
Yeah, they did. And I was like, what in the world? That's why I sent you to message. What is going on in Pitt County? And then later
the ocean.
Right. This is after you were back. And I was like, what is going on in Pitt County? Because all I was seeing was messages of stay in your house, lock your doors and windows. And I'm like, what's going on? And then finally they released more information through the day. And I was like, oh, okay.
So a situation like that is strange. And the media was up there. And like one of the reports that I read, they told us that we needed to back away. They were putting on the tactical gear. That means a bulletproof vest. And they were getting ready to walk into the wooded area there. And one of the guys told us, he said, he could be sitting right there on the edge of the woods watching you right now. And you wouldn't see him.
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be a good reason to leave.
That's a good reason to go get a Kentucky Fried Chicken or something because I'm out.
Somewhere around Ashboro.
Yeah. I'm out.
Y'all, it's cool to be in the media and want to get great video and all that sort of good stuff. Been there, done that, got a t-shirt, but I also have enough common sense
Absolutely.
to know when, other people, they know what they're doing. I do too. Like I know what to do. I'm back over here.
Right.
If he gets this far, I'll get his picture.
Well, Redford, I watch a lot of live stuff through YouTube, crime scenes or ongoing, something going on. I've seen it where they've had a man barricaded in the house with a rifle who's already taken pot shots at everybody, and people crowding all around the area. And I'm
You know how
like, do you
far those bullets
realize?
go?
Do you realize all he has to do, he, her, whoever, is turn that towards you? And they're all out there up behind the police officers. First of all, the police officers need room to do their stuff.
I don't know whether you've ever noticed or not, but these people that
crazy.
barricade themselves, they take a lot of shots. They're not real good at what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They're
you're
hiding
right.
and they're shooting at people out there. They got a lot of targets to choose from. You're lucky if you don't get hit.
Right.
The police consider themselves pretty lucky and they take cover.
There was,
But y'all need to, if when he shoots and misses, that bullet's going somewhere.
there was one night, and this was 5, 6, 7 years ago, and it was dark out, and I heard a racket. So I opened the blind to look out, and there was a PD car, blue lights, and I heard him yelling, "Get on the ground or I'm going to shoot you." And I'm like, and it's directly in front of my house. And I'm like, I don't need to be looking out the window at this
No, you
time, because I didn't know what was going on at the time. And so I snuck down to the back part of the house where it's brick surrounding and peeked out. But I was like, nope, I don't need to know what's going on because I'm not putting myself in the line of anything.
Nope. No,
But
not at all.
these people, you watch them and they're just all over and they're filming and videotaping.
Yeah.
Seriously, the
That's the
person
one that don't get
shooting
hurt.
could just like start shooting and you could be the recipient of one of those strays.
These guys are
Stupid.
not, they don't care about collateral damage. They've already done enough bad stuff, like shooting at the police, shooting somebody or whatever. There's one more is not going to make that much difference to
No.
them. You
Yeah.
understand?
Oh, right.
It's they don't care.
Because most of the time when they start shooting like that and say they have hit somebody,
They're indiscriminate. Yep.
most of the time it's going to end with that person being unalived, as they would say now, unalived. Like the sheriff in that one town where the bear cat ran over the suspect. Yeah.
We killed him. We ran over him and
We
killed him.
killed him. We ran over him with our bear cat. He shot our officers. We took care of him. And I'm like, whoa.
I still think
That was-
police need to, keep your canines, but I think every
Right,
police
canines.
department needs to have a cougar
A cougar.
or a log chain.
Could we rephrase that, please?
Right.
A cougar. What do you mean by a cougar?
Do
Two-legged
you
or
not- Do you
four-legged?
not remember the cougar that used to be on the advertising for all of the cars?
Yes.
He actually came to Jacksonville for the Lincoln Mercury dealer here one time.
Really?
L.O. Stevenson had them brought in because it was, one of their
I saw one
advertising.
at the circus.
And I always thought it would be cool. Forget the canine part. Just
Right.
give me one and give me a big chain, log chain,
Right.
because that would be impressive. Have it on a collar attached to my log chain, then I can walk this trained cougar around with me.
I've been accused of being a cougar.
You don't want me to walk you around on a log chain, though, right?
No.
But anyway, can you imagine a police officer would never have to pull his gun?
Right.
He would never have to say, "Get out of the way."
Right.
Where he walked, the place would part. The waters would part.
Right.
The people would spread. They would get out of your way. I would.
Well, I'm telling you now.
Cougar.
Well, I thought you were coming at me with that, and it's not true. I'm not a cougar.
What's a cougar?
Meow. Anyway, we really ain't going to go there.
They're bringing the weather outlook for the first part of a brand new week. Winds are becoming
Brand new week.
Winds becoming southerly through the early part of this week, getting a little stronger ahead of a strong cold front midweek. You can expect small craft advisory conditions during part of this week.
Mm-hmm.
Today, out to 60 nautical miles. Easterly winds. Oh, there are no winds, there are breezes. 5 to 10 knot seas, 2 to 3 feet.
Oh, there you go.
Those are not waves.
Yeah,
Those
those
are
are
ripples. Hey, you're learning. Tuesday, tomorrow, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon, 3 to 4 footers. Wednesday, westerly winds 20 to 25 knots, diminishing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon, 4 to 6 footers. Showers and thunder boomers, they are likely, mainly in the morning, though. Boating conditions for the weekend upcoming, long range looking better, but
But
keep your eye on the weather reports as they routinely change, and the weekend is a full work week away.
alrighty. Yeah, we had some nice rain this weekend. Today, a chance of late afternoon showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high near 88. Calm wind becoming south around 6 miles per hour in the afternoon. Tonight, a chance of showers, partly cloudy with a low around 70. Tuesday, partly sunny with a high near 92. Heat index values as high as 103. And Wednesday, a chance of early morning showers, mostly sunny with a high near 92.
All right, looking around this neck of the woods here, our ham radio, it was a challenging experience this morning, but hams do what hams do best.
I was scared.
They deal with things.
I was frightened. I had a terrible fright this morning.
We
Go ahead.
had our primary radio repeater frequency was jammed open, and a tone was coming out of it. And Lee heard the tone, thought it was one of her fire alarms, and then she was running through her house. She said, "Were you naked too?"
No, but
Okay.
I had it turned up loud.
Yeah, you heard your radio turn up loud, and suddenly this big tone comes
And that
out of it.
tone
and
comes
you're
out.
running.
I thought it was my fire alarms, and I'm running up and down the hallway. They're not blinking. I'm blaming Brian Kelly, our former fire chief. I'm like, you told me to get these, and they're not working. And then I thought it was my new refrigerator setting off
Oh, yeah, you
alarms.
just got a refrigerator.
And I was freaking, and I was running all over the house until finally, when I got close enough to my radio, I said, huh? And I turned it down, and it quit. And I'm like, good golly.
Yeah, our primary repeater frequency,
Y'all should see me.
it locked up this morning overnight at some point in time. I am assuming just before showtime, or before we started getting
About
data.
5:30 this morning.
And it was locked up, and so people weren't able to reach out and talk to us.
It was
But we
deafening.
have alternate channels. That's the one thing
Right.
about ham radio. We have multiple alternate channels.
That's right. You can't
So
get us on them
I
all.
started listening to, they can't get them all. So I started listening to the others and putting out word on the 3 other repeaters that this is what I'm monitoring because of
Right.
the information. Got everybody but one person.
Yes, you
Out
did
of that
very
entire
well.
group in 1 hour, we got everybody had switched over.
I learned a lot
They
by
did.
it this morning.
It was a heck of a test, wasn't it?
Well, after I got over the fright of thinking my house was getting ready to burn down.
Well, the bottom
That's
line is,
fire
weather-wise, over in the Woodlands where you live, 72 degrees,
Phew.
90% humidity, 29.85 inches of mercury, calm except for blood pressure, and a 0.84 inches of water over the weekend. You had some
0.84.
rain.
I did.
Joe in the boroughs, 73 degrees, 97% humidity, 29.84 inches of mercury. Calm this morning. Over the weekend, he had 1.96 inches of rain. Had nothing since yesterday. No wind going on right now. When he got over to the Emerald Isle, 77 degrees, 83% humidity, had 1,012.4 millibars of pressure, and I forgot to do the conversion. I got kind of tied up in other stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's kind of like in the normal range. South-southwesterly breeze at 1 to 2. Nothing in the rain gauge over at Emerald Isle. Bladen County, James reported in 70 degrees, 98% humidity, clear, no clouds, 29.85 inches of mercury, northwesterly breeze at 1. Michael in Crew, Virginia, 69
Great.
degrees and cloudy. Richard, sorry, we didn't get you this morning, bud. Get you tomorrow. Randy over in Southwest Community on his golf cart, 70 degrees, 99% humidity, 29.83 inches of mercury, no wind and no rain. And Brian in the borough in Swansboro, 72.7 degrees, 95% humidity, 29.66 inches of mercury, calm there. Saturday, he had 0.57 inches of rain, 0.57 inch of rain. Carol and Dale called in this morning. Riverbend, up where they live, 72 degrees, 99% humidity, 29.78 inches of mercury. It was also calm there. And Saturday, he had 1.18 inch of rain. Lee in the back swamp, he said this morning, 70 degrees, 99% humidity, 29.78 inches of mercury. It was calm over the past 48 hours. I got to figure out how he sets his gauge up because I saw a picture of it. He's got an Accurite that's set up for 48 hours. He had 70.70 inch of rain in the past 48 hours. Ken in Oslo Bay, 72.9 degrees, 89% humidity. Hey, Ken. For the weekend, he had 1.5 inches of rain. Hey, so people who needed rain got some water this weekend.
Oh, I need
Ward in Cedar Point had 77 degrees, 86% humidity,
Way to go, Ward.
29.91 inches of mercury, south-southwesterly breeze at 2. And he had no rain this morning. Now, here at the studio, we had no rain overnight, but we had 0.30 inch of rain on Saturday because it was raining pretty good here for a while. It's currently 73 degrees, 99% humidity,
nice.
and 29.79 inches of mercury. And the wind is non-existent.
Well, I'll tell you what now, that humidity has been climbing this morning because, I mean, you could actually watch it climb on your Accurate.
Yeah.
But, the rain was nice. I had great rain Saturday. And sometime after midnight, which would be Sunday morning, I got just a sprinkle, 0.01. But I'm going to tell you, my lawn, I mowed it Thursday before all the rain started. It needs to be mowed again, which makes me happy.
So you're going to be raising some wheat straw, right?
Oh, I will tell you what, it's finally starting to
Baling
turn
hay, I can hear it.
green in the front yard. I had so many dead spots. But,
This is weird. I read this last night and I was just thinking to myself, talk about the kettle calling the pot black.
All right.
A wild allegation. Iran's foreign minister is protesting the death of an Iranian civilian sailor
Huh?
aboard a commercial ship that he claims was hit by a round of some sort or another fired by a Ukrainian vessel in the Caspian Sea.
He's sure it was
Whatever.
Ukrainian.
Whatever. Whatever was shot at the ship, the Iranians say it caused a small explosion that killed the sailor.
Sorry for that.
Maybe. It could have been an Iranian missile going awry. No one seems to have a lot of real details, but the Iranians are hot under the collar. They're incensed. No one seems to know what's going on. No nation, none, should be shooting at bona fide commercial ships. They are unarmed. They've got a civilian crew, non-military. Those ships are the same ones that call on places like Moorhead and Wilmington and Baltimore, Miami, Charleston, Savannah. They call on these ports of call, delivering goods, picking up commercial products to take to other ports in other countries. The outrage displayed by Iran towards Ukraine was a twofold attack against Ukraine and the United States. Russia sent along its sympathy for Iran's loss. I'm sorry for a civilian sailor from Iran or any other place being killed by acts of war. That's just not right.
Right.
The Germans did it routinely in World War II with our commercial shipping interests. Right off the coast of North Carolina, 5-6 miles out, they attacked. German U-boats attacked civilian ships. Yeah, they did. Right here, within range. I have no time for that. That's just not the way wars are fought. There's going to be collateral damage, but when you target civilian ships, as Iran has done time and again in the Strait of Hormuz, and then you get incensed because you say that Ukraine fired a round of some sort or another that caused a small explosion and killed one person aboard an Iranian commercial vessel. You have no reason to complain about anything.
Absolutely, I agree.
I'm incensed that you're incensed. Let's just put it that way. Weekend reports are hinting that the commander of the U.S. Central Command, bless you, has suggested holding off on additional strikes against Iran around the Strait of Hormuz, with the possibility, he says, that there's going to be a massive operation, perhaps jointly with Israel, to finish the mess in the region that we've been involved in for way too long. No one in the Trump administration, nor Trump himself, will confirm that is a plan under consideration. There is a report circulating that the noted targets of epic Fury. That's what we've been involved in since
Epic Fury,
March.
yes, yes,
The
yes.
plan to deal with Iran. That of the targets originally picked by the United States, only 20% have actually been hit. We've hit a lot. That must mean that we have a lot that we went after, or should be going after, or plan to go after. If we've only got 1 out of every 5, we got a lot to go after.
I'd say so.
With this war on again and off again since March, with the number of attacks we've launched, either we haven't been as successful as we might have been led to believe, or that there are a lot of targets in the original plan. Whatever the 20% that we have taken out, I certainly hope they were the key targets, the ones posing the greatest threats. I certainly hope we don't run out of rockets, missiles, and drones, and the baddest of the bad targets are intact while we work on assembling some new ordnance in Bubba's back room in the hills of North Carolina somewhere. I hope we've saved the best for last. If we didn't, we could have a problem.
We'll see.
All of that said, I'm going to read you a headline here, a series of stories from Fox News, all on one page. We see it every day. The banner reads, "What to know."
Okay.
What to know? Benjamin Netanyahu's Washington visit this week could determine whether Israel joins renewed strikes as the Iran war enters a 2-day diplomatic pause.
Well,
President Donald Trump is weighing diplomacy against further military action as the Battle of the Strait of Hormuz drifts to other Middle East regions. The Iran-U.S. war is at a potential turning point as Trump threatens more strikes while negotiations move forward. These are all together. I'm confused. Not about what we're doing, but what is being reported. I don't know who's providing the information or
I read
misinformation.
something yesterday, a headline, Rayford, and it was the most confusing mess I've ever read in my life. And I meant to screenshot it and send it to you, and I can't remember where I read it from, but it was one of the headlines. It was like, what? The grammar was bad, and the whole thing was misleading, and it was one of our top news media coverage people, areas, organizations.
Yeah.
It was crazy, and I'm like, what?
If what I just read you, if that is what they know, how are we the people supposed to work with that? Are we in the dark? Yeah, absolutely. Is there any wonder why Americans are confused? I have no idea what is actually happening. I don't necessarily need to know or should know. I would love to know, but we don't need to know. It would be really great if just one, and I don't care which one, network would report one set of facts every day of what we need to know, so we would know more, and we all would know the same thing. Honestly, in this day of instantaneous news delivery, I seriously believe that the 1860s telegraph system, along with smoke signals, while much slower than today's electronic marvels, was much faster because it all arrived with the same verified information. You didn't get the different baloney from different sources. So if we could all have that, then we could know what is going on that they want us to know, that we should know. We do not want to get into the old loose lips sink ships. That's not what we need to do. We should not know that. If we know it, the bad guys know it. We don't tell the enemy. We do not telegraph our intentions to the enemy. That's always stupid. I don't know why anybody thinks that should be done.
There's somebody somewhere trying to do something, though. Just mean people, mean.
We heard reports. We've heard lots and lots of reports that our attacks have destroyed Iran's current capabilities to produce enriched uranium. That was our goal. That is our goal. We are to take them out of the nuclear weapons business. Yes, they have been in it. There's enough verifiable information that even the civilian population knows that.
Right.
right?
Right.
Not much doubt among realists who agree that Iran's desires to build nuclear killing devices with destination United States printed on the sides has not subsided, nor will it ever subside. They wanted to kill us since we became an us. We hear arguments that it matters not what we do since we're not at war with a nation. We're at war with a terrorist operation with its own ideology that we can never defeat them in conventional ways. You cannot defeat an ideology. You cannot beat them into submission. You can kill them. You can eliminate them. You cannot do diplomatic ways to be at peace with them. They will never be at peace with us. They don't want it. Beyond my abilities to understand or comprehend, but that's a fact. In wars against nations, we fight and we kill until the other side finds the cost of a continued war too expensive, right? Because it values human lives. Those kinds of battles, I think most people understand, even if we don't like the way it has to be done. It's a fact of life, right?
Right.
You can be opposed to war all you want, but you understand that that is the purpose and that's the way it has to be done if you're going to fight a war to bring the other people to their knees. You cannot bring an ideology to its knees. It's not going to change. Pretty sure that most Americans and the citizens of most civilized societies would much prefer negotiating for reasonable results than to fight until the death. Most civilized societies would much prefer negotiating for reasonable results than to fight until everybody is dead. Reasonable results? That's usually the hang-up. What you think is reasonable and what I think is reasonable likely going to be miles apart. You ever heard of third-party negotiating? That's where these guys come and get involved. We're going to have another country come in there and they're going to help negotiate this whole deal, right? You're going to find somebody that's neutral. Sometimes it works pretty much. I'm sure a lot of you folks have seen third-party situations between husbands and wives who split up where neither will give and the battle goes on for seemingly ever. Ever seen those things happening? Ever had friends like that? I will never convince some of you to see it my way, and I really am okay with that. I don't really try to convince you to see it my way. Unfortunately, there are a lot of folks who have the answers admitting that they really don't have one that will work because, like most of us, we don't have all of the facts. If we had all of the facts, we might think that we could come up with something that would work. I don't think we can. We're not the experts.
I'm taking a vacation from Iran, all the news right now. I'm just
You might be surprised you have them in your
so
backyard
tired
if
of
you
it.
do.
It's just ceasefire. Nope.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's the problem.
Nope. Yes. Nope.
And-
Nope. Everybody just like
Please don't go TDS on me. You know,
TDS.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Why would I
It
do
has
that?
nothing to do, not you, anybody. It has nothing to do with whoever is the elected figurehead in the
Right.
country at the time. The best we can do is to express our support for who we consider the least worst candidates at all levels of city, county, state, and federal government when election time rolls around. And since y'all, I like grape jelly and you like strawberry, we'll not likely ever agree on who we think is better or what we think we would prefer and why you should do the same thing. Have you ever had anybody, here, just try this, try this, try this. Here, take a bite of this, take a bite of this. Ever had that, anybody do that to you?
Yes.
It's irritating.
It is irritating.
I don't like it. I don't like
crammed in my
strawberry
face.
jelly. I like strawberries. I don't like strawberry jelly.
I like it occasionally.
Well, good for you.
I'm not a big jelly person.
Well,
I mean, because
good.
I usually end up buying a jar and somewhere like 9 months later end up throwing what's left in it away. I'm
Buy a
just,
small jar.
yeah,
You can buy
I
little
do.
packets. Or just go
Oh.
to the Bojangles or wherever and get the packets that you like and take them home with you.
Ooh. Ooh.
We're going to keep plugging away on whatever is
Right.
making the news of the day here is determined by the news outlets out there. We don't have control over what they do. We have opinions on what they say, but that's
Yes.
all we have.
I do want to bring up, I was sent this clip the other day and I watched it. And Senator Tim Sheehy delivered the most powerful speech ever on the Senate floor about Iran. He's a former Navy SEAL. And if you get a chance to find the link, I'll throw it up there. But you really need to listen to this. I mean, he was spot on with it, in my opinion, and it's a very powerful speech. It was so powerful that he almost broke down several times because, I mean, he described seeing people that, alongside of him while they were in a war-torn country being blown in half and stuff. It was just a very powerful speech. But it's Senator Tim Sheehy, and I'm going to find the link, and I'm going to have it right here. I'll transfer it. It's really, really good. It's really good. So it makes you think about what's actually going on. So anyway,
There are all sorts of things that are happening, that have happened, that will happen, will continue happening out there.
Right.
I wish I had the answers to it. All I had were the answers to my very small part of the world that I was involved in at the time because I was following instructions. Go take care of this and do this and this and this and this and this, Put this guy in jail, put that guy in jail, Do this, do that. Okay, follow instructions. Do it. Got it. Move on.
Let's see if I can get it without.
Our guys out there in battle on front lines, that's what they do.
It was just, and then Friday I watched the dignified transfer of the bodies of our service people that were killed recently, transferred off the plane to the hearses that would take them to where they needed to go, and it was so solemn.
The passengers on those planes, that plane, they all gathered and stood.
Right. Yes. That was at an airport in Raleigh where they showed.
Yeah.
I just put it on our Facebook, and I'll transfer it to YouTube in a minute. It was very, very solemn. And I like the fact now that the news media is cutting. First of all, they tape it, but you're not seeing it live. You're seeing it after it's over with, and then they play it, and there's no volume to it. And I like the fact that the news media is doing that now.
Doing what now? Taping what?
It's transfer of the bodies from
you
the
don't see
plane.
them live.
Yeah, so it's done after it's over with.
This is not a rush for ratings, people. Come on, get over it.
Right. So I like that the news media is doing that. They call it a dignified transfer, and there's no sound, there's no volume, you hear nothing, and it was just so sad.
I remember the days of yesteryear, not that many years ago, but when there were 3 television networks. 3.
CBS, NBC, and ABC.
Good girl, you know your history.
We had only an antenna attached to the
That's all that was available.
the clothesline.
Their
So
top 3 or 4 stories of each day were virtually the same, virtually every day. Often in the same order. The lead story, the second story, the third story, maybe the fourth story, they were all almost identical. Not necessarily the same delivery.
right.
They didn't all hit on the exact same highlights of that particular event. But there was very little editorializing, even subliminal at those days. Every network, every major newspaper had reporters covering the same events, while different angles would be taken in secondary stories. Particularly the big stories were mostly just the facts, ma'am. The network with the most trusted anchors were determined by viewers. The ratings, the people who trusted the anchors. That's what made the big difference. The networks that women liked the best, believe it or not, had the best looking anchors. All of them were men, by the way. And then along comes the beginning of the 24-hour news channels, and the world was riddled by political bullets and has been ever since. It's just gotten ridiculous.
It has.
They're all vying for
See if I can.
the not using things like the most trusted anchor. I mean, who was the most trusted anchor that you can ever remember?
It's hard for me to say.
Walter Cronkite.
I was going to say him, and I liked Peter Jennings
Peter
too.
Jennings was a second.
Yes, and that was growing up watching them.
David Brinkley and Chet Huntley shared it. In the beginning, they were the initial.
Yes,
Because they were, there was Walt Winchell way back when. And a lot of that started on radio, but then Brinkley and Huntley and Brinkley came on with the Huntley Brinkley Report. You know how long that newscast was in the beginning?
it's like, well, it was 30 minutes,
No, it wasn't.
but the actual newscast was a lot less.
It ran from 6:30 to 6:45. It was a 15-minute news program. Ren 1010 locally took over when the local news broke at 6:45. That's when Ren 1010 came on.
Ren 1010.
6:30 to 6:45. Local news from 6 o'clock to 6:30. There was no 5:30 news, no 5 o'clock news, no 4 o'clock news, no 3:30 news now.
Yeah, like a lot of the news stations start at 4 o'clock every day. 4 o'clock. I'm like,
Why?
I don't know. But,
Everything gets diluted. It's the same news throughout the 2 hours, by the way. It's just rehashed.
Yes. Well, news in North Carolina that's bringing a lot of protest is U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, known as ICE, will be reopening a for-profit prison in Winton, North Carolina, as one of the largest.
Know where that is?
Yeah, it's Hertford County. It's right up there near Chowan and Bertie. It's in the northeastern part of the state on the Virginia border. But they're going to be reopening a for-profit prison in Winton, North Carolina, as one of the largest immigrant detention facilities on the East Coast.
Good.
The report cited internal ICE documents showing plans for a mass detention center in the former Rivers Correctional Institution with 1,400 beds. Is part of an agreement between the federal government and the GEO Group, a nationwide private prison network. And already there's been protest.
I guarantee you the civilian, they can do it cheaper than the federal government can do it.
So anyway, interesting. And so like I said, it's called some protesters out there, of course.
Up in that neck of the woods is where Blackwater was located. They're training one of their training.
Blackwater.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that name in a long
One of their
time.
training facilities. They've gone under a bunch of names since then. German authorities Saturday. Big old event. And there were two of them apparently in different parts of the world. Probably a bunch, but two of them had protests going on and had some violence associated with it. In Germany, the authorities canceled a popular Pride festival after numerous people were injured and one killed when an unknown driver of a van rammed the festivities in Berlin. People scream and holler, "Oh, you don't have that kind of stuff in any other country, just the United States." No, I'm sorry, they have it in other countries as well. Happened during the city's annual Christopher Street Day Festival. As a LGBTQ plus pride event. Several of the hurt had life-threatening injuries. The one was killed. Hundreds of thousands of people turned out for the event, they said, which included a parade. No arrest. Amazing. and the investigation is continuing. Where did the guy go with the white van? He was driving a van and managed to get out and get away. And nobody tackled him. Nobody went after him. That just surprises me. Now, back up here to Pitt County, where we had the guy going after his domestic partner of some sort or another. Last week, we had a bunch of people, several people, to tackle him, hold him at bay until they could control him and get him out of the store. And he had a gun. Yet in a pride festival, they all let him go.
I'm telling you, Rayford.
He didn't have his van anymore. He wasn't going to hurt you.
It's gotten to the point where you don't know if you're safe just going to the grocery store anymore.
Oh, well, yeah,
crazy.
I know. Whatever's.
People are crazy.
And there was another one. I forgot where the other one it was. A vast, I think it was deaths there too. There may have been a shooting involved. I can't remember. But let's see. I might find it here in a minute or so.
All right.
What else you got cooking?
Locally, I think this just came out a couple days ago, and I don't think it's because he was arrested Friday. We're talking about a lot of the arrests lately around Onslow County for sex crimes, et cetera.
Guy, yeah.
A Jacksonville man, this is according to Jacksonville Daily News. Jacksonville man was arrested Friday on 30 child sexual exploitation charges after the Onslow County Sheriff's Office received a cyber tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Detectives with the Onslow County Sheriff's Office received a cyber tip Wednesday from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children regarding suspected child sexual abuse material. Detectives confirmed the presence of suspected material and immediately obtained a search warrant for a house on White Oak Boulevard in Jacksonville. Deputies, as well as members of the Homeland Security Investigations, the State Bureau of Investigation, and the Navy Criminal Investigative Service, SHUI, executed a search warrant at the home around 7 a.m. on Friday and arrested Frank Anthony Rivers, 53, of Jacksonville, on 30 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. And he's currently being withheld in the Onslow County Hotel without bond.
It's
what is going on? Man,
your perversions, if you want to call them that, they're not all illegal. All are illegal involving a minor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All are illegal involving force. Okay. All are illegal involving unwanted anything. You ain't got permission, and no minor can give you permission. None. They do not have that right. It is not up to them. Okay?
right.
Period.
Right.
These are crimes not against the individuals, by the way. In the great state of North Carolina, for instance, and most other locations, the crime is against the state. It's against the government. It's against those in charge. Therefore, the victim in these crimes, they are victims, but they do not have a say-so whether you get prosecuted or not. If the crime has been committed, their permission to prosecute is not required.
It just seems like lately we have just had an influx of arrests over stuff like this. It just is crazy.
Yes.
30 counts of, and then we had the Hubert man, and then the Richlands man just last week, and kudos to the sheriff's office and all the other agencies involved. Kudos.
That federal center where child exploitation center.
National Center for Missing and Exploited.
These guys are nothing but a bunch of professional people who are monitoring sites They
right.
take phone calls, they take complaints, they react to complaint calls. They have got it going. They are like a bloodhound on
Right.
on a trail of a convicted
Cybersecurity, yes.
of a guy who's run from the popo. They are like a bloodhound. They're going to get you.
They're going
And
to get you.
they got a team of a whole bunch of people all
Heck
over
yeah.
this country. They've got Homeland Security involved.
That's right.
They've got federal agents like NCIS.
Yes.
They got the FBI. I mean, there are people
yes.
that are devoted to this. The
Right.
sheriff's office here, the police department here. These people have been monitoring websites for years.
Yes.
There are local cops who are trained in how to pose as a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. They
We've
just
heard
put
that,
themselves
yes.
out there. They are bait. They put themselves out there as bait.
Right.
And you are idiots. There are people that drive down from places like Ohio, West Virginia, New York, or wherever to come into little old North Carolina because some kid they thought was a kid, a 13-year-old girl. Oh, what an opportunity.
I'm going to tell you, they're going to hunt you down.
And these
They're gonna
dogs that
track
show
you.
up for this, oh, Lord of mercy, some of them are roly-polies, you know.
Yes. Yeah, it's about
Do
like
you remember the series that was on for quite a while, where there was a team that didn't set you up. They gave you the opportunity to set yourself up. They would pose and then they would set up a room. They'd have a room waiting. Vice cops have done it a lot, where they've got decoys out on the streets, female cops on the streets, and somebody pulls up to them and makes them an offer. The girls cannot make an offer. That's illegal. That's entrapment. But
Right.
if they put themselves out there, hey, and they say, "What you doing?" And I'm just out walking out here on the street. Would you like to? Yada 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 yada. And okay, well, there's a room set up right over here. You can meet me around the corner. Well, when they walk into the room, it's like takedown time. And they are snatched off the streets. They are gone. Their cars are gone. They're in handcuffs. They ain't making no phone calls for a while. You're allowed one phone call, but you don't get to make it immediately unless the police want you to. They can get a whole bunch of people in one evening.
You're going to get caught. You're going to get caught.
You
do
going to
anything on a
jail.
computer, you do. You're going to get caught. Wonder how he's feeling now.
Alone
Well,
for
yeah.
a while.
For a while. Till Big Bubba comes around the corner. Oh, well, look, we've got something else here that broke while you were out fishing. Jacksonville police arrested a man early Thursday morning on break-in and entering
Saw
charges following reports of vehicle break-ins and dump stolen vehicles in the area of Williamsburg Parkway, which is right next door to me.
Yeah.
Police were actively patrolling the area of Williamsburg Parkway near Western Boulevard
I read
around
this.
2 a.m. Thursday
This
morning
is cool.
when an officer observed three people wearing dark colored hoodies pulled over their heads, one of whom was also wearing a ski mask.
And it was so cold they needed them.
Yes. Did I mention this is by Jacksonville Daily News? Give them credit. After being informed of recent vehicle break-ins and dumped stolen vehicles around the area, they were dumping stolen vehicles out there. The officer attempted to speak with the three, but they fled on foot.
Duh.
The pursuit was on. After a foot pursuit, all three were apprehended, and it was discovered that one of them, a 19-year-old Jordan Lewis of Jacksonville, was in possession of what, Rayford?
A gun.
A stolen firearm, a
Gun.
concealed firearm.
He had possession of a gun.
Concealed fire, and also had
carrying a concealed gun, and it was stolen.
He also had 5 felony warrants.
Outstanding warrants.
Yes. The other 2 were juveniles who have since been released to their parents. Now, Lewis was arrested on the warrants and also charged with misdemeanor resisting a public officer carrying a concealed gun, 2 counts of contributing to the
There
delinquency
you
of
go.
a minor.
That's the other one that'll get you.
Yeah, the investigation is ongoing, and I am, because I've told you of instances where, a couple years ago, I looked out the window midnight and somebody was walking from my truck across the front of my yard. We were having issues in the part of Northwood, well, all of Northwoods, with vehicle break-ins. And I told you last month there was a big chase on that ended up in my yard at one point. They were chasing somebody for suspected vehicle break-ins. So thank you, Jacksonville Police Department. Great job. But anyone who becomes a victim of a vehicle break-in is encouraged to call JPD. And please lock your doors, remove any valuables, close your garages, turn on your exterior lights by 9 p.m. Mine come on at dusk and go off at dawn. And then I have the cameras that after a certain time at night.
And you got noisy animals.
If you step in front of that where the camera is, viewing, then strobe lights go off.
Yeah.
So, and it's a shame that we have to live that way now.
I can't tell you how much money's involved, Robbie, and I've put into the security around here. And it's ridiculous. Why do we have to do that?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And the new thing is now, of course, with crooks ripping your Ring doorbell camera off, and it's suggested they now have new sensors that you can put in your window on the inside that film too, and you just have an app. It doesn't cost anything. So, but right now, all my stuff is working well and doing good. So
I've got mine.
It's a shame.
If you try to take the stuff off the wall, there's an electrical charge you're going to get.
I like it. Yeah, back in the day, we could leave the door unlocked. You could leave windows open all night long. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah, my
That
grandparents
quit a long time ago.
would leave. The only time they locked their doors was when they were going to come to Jacksonville to spend the night.
Right.
It was open day and night. Somebody might drop by, one of the other kids or something. And, give kids a key to your house, they're going to lose it.
Right.
So why lock the door?
Right.
And if you're going to hide it under a fake rock, we don't have rocks around here.
You could leave your vehicles, the windows down all night. Nobody bothered your stuff.
The only reason you didn't leave your windows down is because it might rain.
I try to remember every night as it gets dark, I pick up my keys and I hit the lock button and hit it several times just to hear it beep. Even though I have a very good habit of every time I get out of my truck, I hit the lock button. But it only takes one time to forget.
Once,
One time to forget. But guess the the exploding bathroom problem that's been going around the nation. We got a confirmed case of it here in Ozark County. Yeah, that's exploding diarrhea is what they're saying, but it's a
psoriasis.
Yeah, psoriasis. There you go. I was trying to. The cases are continuing to rise through North Carolina, and they do have a confirmed case right here in Ozark County. Good God, I'm not going out to eat anywhere. I'm staying home.
Drink water.
After
you boil it.
No lettuce. No.
I boil the lettuce too.
I told you I had a bag of the pre-cut that I had bought a couple of weeks ago when all this came out. I just picked it up, threw it in the garbage. I was like, I'm not even tempting. I'm not doing, and I'm afraid to go out and eat anywhere. I just prefer to just cook natural, homemade, cook. Pasta's good. You know what's the best thing to eat to make sure you don't get this? Donuts.
Really?
Donuts, Rayford.
Cops are fine. They're not going to ever get
donuts. Sorry,
guys.
If the hot sign is on it, Krispy Kreme, run by and get you a dozen donuts.
Please just ruin it for me. Now I'm going to run out there and wait.
You shouldn't have to worry about the exploding diarrhea by eating donuts, because we're talking veggies that this parasite has attached to. There's no parasites in Dunkin' Donuts or
Well, when
Krispy
they
Kreme.
put it in that 400,000 degree oil, what they're cooking these things.
That's what I'm saying.
It ain't
See,
nothing
so
gonna make it
I think that if y'all want to go get a dozen donuts,
Make
go
it hot.
do it. Go get
make
them.
it hot.
Go get them, and
Call
you'll
us.
be fine.
The
You'll be
door
fine.
here is open.
Yes, you'll be
I
just
love,
fine.
I love a Krispy Kreme when it's hot.
Oh man, I can overdose on those.
Oh yeah, me too.
Get a dozen and you just keep cramming them in because they just melt in your mouth, and then you have a sugar rush. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we'll go to the brain.
Then yeah, and to my belly if I eat too much sugar. But
It looks like you got a donut around the midsection, right?
if I eat too much sugar, my stomach starts getting, because I don't eat a lot of sugar. But when I do, my stomach's going, "What have you done to me?" And I'm just like, "Hush, hush, it's going to be okay." It was
Over in
just a half a dozen.
The police there have got one person in custody, looking for a second one. 3 people murdered, 4 others wounded Sunday in a shooting at the Seattle Center. Yeah, the act of horrific violence, according to the mayor. No kidding.
I think there was
I imagine, you've got, how many did I say? 3 dead, 4 others
that was in
wounded,
Siena, and one of them was
7
a
families.
toddler. A toddler was injured in that.
Emergency crews began arriving at the center shortly after 6 o'clock yesterday, which would have been, 9 o'clock our time? The venue was hosting the
Yes.
Bite of Seattle Food Festival over the weekend. And that's one. Seattle's got some great food, lots of great seafood, and they got Pike's Market there. It's just a wonderful place. And why do people go? It's like the Morehead City Seafood Festival. Why do you want to go to a place like that? Just because people are gathered there to enjoy themselves. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want? You're a terrorist. I don't care what you are. You're a low-life scumbucket terrorist, and you do not deserve a trial. You need to be dead on the spot, as they say in Jamaica. Catch them, kill them.
I don't know. That was craziness. So the 3 victims who died were a 19-year-old man, a 44-year-old man, and a 56-year-old woman. Going out to a festival.
2-year-old wounded.
Yes. Going out to a festival to have a nice, fun time.
Yeah. I mean,
Probably-
we have them around here.
Buy some donuts on the food truck. This is just, and you think about that every time there's a festival.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Here.
how are things going to be?
Is this an effort? Is this an effort on an individual's parts to create enough hate and discontent and concern that we're scared to go anywhere? That we're going to stay locked in our homes? Is this what their ulterior motive is, so they can have some kind of a power? Is this what a big man and their operation looks like? You know what? These looks like little puke thugs too. Every time you find them.
Thug.
They're little
You
puke
said it right.
thugs.
Puke thug.
They're said to be spanked before
Yes.
you beat them.
No, he should be knocked upside the head with a 2x4.
Spank them first. They need to have a good public spanking,
Well,
and then beat them.
talk about a public spanking. You heard about the 20-year-old Surf City man that was at Onslow Memorial Hospital? He assaulted a
spanked?
nurse while she was performing her duties.
At the hospital?
Yes. According to arrest warrants and Jacksonville PD offense reports, Monroe
really?
Bruce Allen, 20 of Surf City, North Carolina, was arrested, and this was on July 23rd, which is 4 days ago, and charged with assault inflicting physical injury on emergency personnel. He punched a nurse employed by Onslow Memorial Hospital in the left side of her face with his closed fist, and she suffered bruising and swelling as a result of it. He's lucky he didn't have to be treated further by the ER doctor before he went downtown.
Do you understand that there used to be a good lady over there in the 70s? That she'd been around forever, since I think she treated Civil War veterans at the time too. But she used to work there at the Old
Right.
Memorial. She would hit you with a needle and a heartbeat. You would go unconscious. Or if you had open wounds, that stuff that they put on you is kind of like methylated used to
Right,
be.
right.
They pour it on you. When you got open wounds, you will scream.
Right,
and
that
pass
mercurochrome, that red stuff.
But
When you were a kid, Mom said, "It's not going to hurt."
It was like pure alcohol.
Yes.
They just pour beta, whatever.
Oh,
some
yeah,
nurse out there knows.
betadine or something.
They pour it over you, and you just pass out.
Yeah, I would too.
I watched one pass out. He screamed and he passed out.
I have to. There was one lady back in the day. This is back in the 80s, and she was a paramedic. And I remember we were working at the old Holiday Inn. It's back when it was called Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
3 floors of mischief on Friday and Saturday nights. And we had a report of this one guy in this one room that was going crazy. So we went in there, and between us and JPD, it took like 3 or 4 of us to hold him down because he was high. He was high on drugs, and he was crazy. And when EMS showed up, that one paramedic, she looked at him and she said, "You make one more sound, you make one more move,
And he did.
and I'm going to put you out." And let me tell you, he calmed right down with her. She had a way with him. The rest of us, he was throwing us off of him. He was so high. I don't know what he was on, but it was crazy. But boy, I don't know what it was about her, but she looked at him square in the face and she said, "Go ahead, make one move." He calmed right down. They strapped him to the gurney then. I was like, man, she's good.
There are some pressure points that you can also place.
No, she was his eye contact. She's just like, "Go ahead, move."
No problem for me. I understand. Saw a sign here on it's posted over some water where there are alligators, and the sign is kind of cute. They said, "Get back to it again." No swimming. Arms and legs may pose a choking hazard to alligators.
That is genius. I like that.
If that doesn't work, I don't know what would.
Well, at least you'll remember, won't you? Because you'll remember that sign.
To the person who stole my eyeglasses, I will find you. I have contacts. That would be funny.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, I love these signs.
Good.
Bread is like the sun. It rises in the east and sets in the west.
Alrighty then. Okay, I get it. Yes.
25 years ago, we had Johnny Cash, Bob Hope, and Steve Jobs. Now, no Cash, Hope, or Jobs. Please, God, don't let Kevin Bacon die.
I saw that and I had to laugh
I've
over
seen
that, the
one.
bacon part.
That's pretty good.
Oof. Ooh.
Okay, that's enough humor.
All right.
What else we got cooking?
What else we have cooking? Well, we've got weather coming up here in a minute. But isn't today the ceremonies for Lindsey Graham? Let me check.
Probably.
I want to be sure to catch that on TV. Oh, good. We have a phone call. It's Steve. Thank you, Steve. Thank you for calling.
We have a bunch of Steves these days calling, don't we?
This is our gardening
We
Steve.
have almost as many Steves as we have
This
Christmas
is our
days.
singing gardener.
The singing gardener.
Yes.
Oh, as long as he's not the naked singing gardener, that would be awful, right?
And
He's laughing.
Gosh.
Hey, Steve.
My hair's been hot lately, but
How are you, Bubba?
oh, doing pretty good out here in the park, walking the dog this morning.
Oh, you got your little baggie to take care of the doggy remains?
I do. I do.
I knew you would.
Yep, I recovered that this morning, actually.
Okay, good.
Yeah. She's usually, as soon as she gets out the truck, she's ready to take care of that.
Well, I got 76 degrees here. It's probably about the same thing where you are, right?
Yeah, it's pretty nice out here this morning.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah.
I went through your town 3 times last week.
I hear you.
Actually, 6.
I went through yours probably about as many.
Did you?
Yeah, my wife had family from Virginia came and stayed in North Topsail.
Nice.
Okay.
So we went down there every day when she got off work.
Used to be able to go through the back gate.
Well, if you had a boat, you could have gone straight over.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
Yep.
is the funeral.
Yeah. Hey, I heard you talking about your police kitty this morning.
What?
My police kitty?
Yeah, the police kitty, the cougar.
The cougar.
Oh, the cougar, yeah.
I had to stop and
Can
think.
you
What?
imagine?
Can you
remember
elaborate?
that when the Mercury had the cougar, and then they had the cougar as an advertising thing with the young lady that walked the cougar around? They came to Jacksonville as a
really?
as a promotional tour with the Mercury dealer here, Mr. Stevenson, back at the time, back on Lejeune Boulevard. That was just, we all had to go see the kitty. That kitty was. As a little kid, I kept a distance from that kitty, no problem.
I was going to say there's only one problem with a cougar. Is they don't bark.
They don't need to.
Well, I was going to say with canine units, half the time the people give up as soon as they hear the dog bark. They never even take it off the lead.
Well, see, with a cougar, when they see the cougar, they run a little bit faster and they get tired faster.
Yeah. Hey guys, I was going to tell you I was sorry to throw your guest such a curveball question last week.
Oh, you was talking about when Laura was on here. Yeah, and I meant to answer you, Stephen. I apologize.
What was a curveball? I don't remember a curveball.
What was it that you asked her?
About the 2020 election.
Oh, the 2020 election,
that it was
right.
stolen. Were they valid?
Right.
You know, guys, Rayford, you might agree with me on this. I'm not sure. I feel like the answer to that question now is that there's absolutely no evidence that's been presented that in any way would substantiate a claim of that magnitude. Does that sound fair?
I didn't understand everything you just said, but what we've said, I've said, I think you've said before as well. Whatever, there is always fraud. You cannot say there isn't some kind of fraud. Fraud generally implies intentional. There is going to be mistakes that are made. I understand that. The problem is when mistakes are allowed to be made or encouraged to be made or deliberately made. And there are mistakes that are deliberately made, and then they say, that was just a mistake on my part. We've heard those kinds of excuses before. Officer, I didn't mean to drive 94 miles an hour. It was a mistake. My foot got a little heavy. No, that's not a mistake. But there are times I do not believe, at this point in time, based upon all the evidence, quote unquote, that's been presented that is verifiable, that there was enough in the way of numbers. And, I'm a math guy. I always like numbers. There was not enough in the way of numbers that would have made any difference. No more so than there were when John Kennedy was elected president in 1960. Because that was a very close election, extremely close election. And but for a couple of sneezes, I mean, really, if I was going to be looking for one to be screaming and hollering that there was probably some fraud that was going on, knowing Daddy Joe and knowing that whole bunch of the Kennedys back at that time. And when Daddy Joe said, my son's going to be president, and he barely became president, we all forgot how close that election was.
Right. But to me, to just simplify things down, the 2020 election, there's no evidence that's been presented that substantiates the claim that election was stolen. Nothing even comes close.
Nope.
That's the answer to that question. You don't have to say it wasn't true. You don't have to say there was an election. They won't fraud at some level. But there's nothing that comes anywhere near validating the claim that the election was stolen on a national level. And you cannot get those Republicans to admit that for anything, man. They will immediately start talking about, there was a vote in Michigan that was, 3 fraudulent votes up there. And they'll start talking about these petty little trivial instances, like we said, of violations of voter laws that we've had, with 150 million people voting. Honestly, I'm like proud that we don't have no more than we do. I thought for sure when they made the claim of election fraud in 2020, they were going to find some with that many people involved. You're talking about tens of thousands of polling stations.
Yeah.
And so honestly, I came out of it kind of proud. It looks like it might be one of the most legitimate organizations America runs. Yeah. Finding fraud in it. But that's the thing, like I said, that, her stated mission was to try and sway voters like me. And she was completely kneecapped with one question that has an easy answer. And so I don't know how those people are ever going to, bring anybody else in. It's like, The only people that would appeal to is people who are already MAGA.
Well, I don't know what MAGA is, and I take a little bit of a
MAGA. Right. That's a very broad term.
It's a very broad term, and "Make America Great Again" is a great slogan. I don't care who came up with it.
Right. I have to agree with that.
And if a Democrat had come up with it, I would have said that's a very great promotional gimmick. And all slogans are exactly that. They are gimmicks. I think most people understand that.
Right. It honestly, it's sold. I'm not going to deny you that it's sold. People latched onto it.
Yep.
I personally would have liked something that said, "Let's make America better, not great again." The implication is that it's not look good right now.
That probably didn't consult you or me. I don't.
Right. That's something on a personal level. I would have, picked something a little more, positive. But it's sold. I can't deny that. It worked. Yeah.
Sold a lot of hats and T-shirts for sure.
There was.
Absolutely. What other slogan that you can? I mean, other than "I like Ike" has sold better.
I like
Right.
Yeah.
But swinging back around to my point again is, man, I sure wish we could get to a better place. I think there's a better way for us to run our politics. But as long as people are trying to prop up the falsehood that the 2020 election may have been stolen, I don't know how you get over that. That's undermining our elections. That's unpatriotic.
You know how I get over it? This is 2026. That is over 6 years ago. Coming up on 6 years ago. I am over it.
Well,
the problem. Let me throw this in here, Lee. I'm sorry to interrupt. The problem is the current president just a week ago went on a primetime address and talked about this exact thing, using it as a predicate to try and say that the next election is going to be corrupt too.
Well, that's fine.
There's your problem. He has not let it go.
It does not matter whether he lets it go or not. It doesn't matter to me whether you let it go or not. I have let it go.
I get what you're saying. I'm saying it still has relevance and it's still important. It's not something that we should just let go because he's still trying to act upon it.
He is a what they call, in case you forgot about it, a lame duck president. Obama is almost nothing these days. Well, Biden is way below nothing these days. George Bush Jr., what's he doing these days? Who knows? Who cares?
But it may be an indication of the chaos that he's going to try and create in this next coming election.
I think
I would like to point out one thing.
His abilities to create chaos are over.
I would like to point out one thing to you is that I heard Tom Tillis speaking on the floor last week talking about the Save America Act.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he wasn't voting for it because if they passed it, it would not do anything but create chaos. He said in order to try and get it implemented by November, there's no way it could happen. He said if they passed it last July, they still wouldn't have been able to get it implemented by November. All it will do is create chaos. And everybody knows that, but the ones that want it so bad, they want the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying is that right before our very eyes, he's using this as a predicate to try and disrupt these elections as well in some fashion.
I like Tom Tillis, and we will probably be friends for a long, long time. Not like those kinds of friends, but we're professional friends, not as reporter and senator, but in another area. But he's got his opinions. He votes the way he wants to vote. I will support him because he votes the way he wants to vote, as I supported a lot of people because they vote the way they want to vote. And some people are out there in la-la land, and not Tom Tillis. I don't even think that. But there are some people out there in la-la land. I will have a problem supporting the way they vote on both sides of the aisle, by the way. So, if he wants to feel that way, fine. But I'm not going to make a judgment call that this is going to create chaos if it indeed passes. That's his evaluation of what it is.
Well, but he goes into detail in his
okay.
speech on the floor and explains why it's going to create chaos.
Now, see, the whole thing is,
But
if you
here's the thing
agree
is,
with
I
Tom
can't deny his
Tillis,
logic. I can't deny his
I
logic.
understand that, but if you agree with Tom Tillis, you're going to feel that way. If I were to disagree with Tom Tillis, I would feel another way. And that's what America's about. We all have the ways we want to believe, and we can support who we want to support.
Yeah, I get that. But we kind of started this with the predicate that the lady that was in there last week was trying to sway.
She is the chairman
People.
of the Onslow County Republican Party. What do you think she's going to do?
Mhm.
But that's what the conversation. That's what the conversation kind of the predicate it started on was that there's people out there that are trying to sway voters like me
Mm-hmm.
from the Republican Party. And there's people in the Democrats that are trying to do the same thing.
Well, let me put it to you this
we're
way.
we're the target audience.
Let me put it to you this way. The Republican Party outnumbers the Democrats 2.5 to 1 in Onslow County.
That's correct.
So somebody's doing something right. If that's what they're trying to do is to sway them, convince them to come over to the Republican side. The Republicans gained, I forgot how many numbers, but they gained a lot of numbers in the last reporting period. So if that's what her goal is, then she's being very successful.
I wish her success. I don't just because I don't agree with her, don't mean that I want her to fail. But I don't know. I felt like that was I know that's a tough question because the leader of their party is still out there promoting this falsehood.
The party is going to support him. The party is going to support the president.
I get that. But if they're going to support him, then they have to, hit this head on. It's something that is they can't prove, and everything we've looked at says what they say is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But they still won't give it up. They still won't let it go. And I get what you're saying. It should be over. It should be a dead issue. We've already seen enough evidence to say that they can't prove it.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah.
But they can't admit that. They can't admit that they can't prove it, that it can't be proven. It's always got to be, but there was something here.
Okay. Do you believe it?
Yeah. Do I believe what?
Do you believe that it's been proven that it was not stolen?
I believe they looked at everything.
No. You're not. See, you're avoiding the question. Do you believe that it has been proven?
What you're going to ask me to do is guarantee something that I can't.
No. Do you believe? I didn't say guarantee. Do you believe?
Do you believe
that it's been proven that it was not stolen? To your satisfaction, I'll try to do it easier for you. To your satisfaction, do you believe that it's not been stolen?
I'm trying to ponder on that for a second. Right, I'm trying to ponder on that for a second. I get the gist of your question. I'm just trying to ponder on that.
I have nothing up my sleeve. Okay, I got more short
I get it, but that's something I don't have a knee-jerk reaction to necessarily. I believe that they failed to produce any evidence to prove their claim.
So to you, is that, can I interpret that as meaning you do not believe there's been enough evidence or any evidence provided to support the fact that this was stolen, to support a claim that this was stolen?
A claim that it was stolen. Yes, I believe there's been no evidence produced to support that.
Then what are we arguing about? You're convinced.
I don't really think we're arguing necessarily, but I think what we're debating is the fact that you and I understand that these leaders in the Republican Party don't seem to.
Do you think that you're ever going to be able to change their minds?
Well, and that comes back to the predicate. I'm not trying to change their mind; they're trying to change mine.
Okay. Well, they're not going to. You believe that you're not going. Your mind's not going to change.
They could. I'm saying they could if they would take a step towards, reality. There's a path where they might could talk me into voting for Republicans. I've done it before. Mm-hmm. Some I was glad I did. Some I was very sorry I voted for. I voted for Mark Robinson for lieutenant governor. Oh my goodness, I would give you $1 and a donut, but they'll take that one back. But I'm honestly, I voted for him. I did.
At the time that you voted for him,
but not with somebody who can't.
At the time that you voted for him, if you knew then what you know today, and that's all that you know, you would not have voted for it. But you did not know after the election or at the time you voted what you found out about later, right?
That's true, but honestly, I wanted my vote back from his performance before we ever found out about the stuff when he was trying to run for governor.
Okay. It's hence the same question that I ask all the potential employees that when I got serious about them as I was interviewing them. Is there anything, candidate 1, candidate 2, whatever, is there anything that I will learn about you 6 months after I hire you that would cause me to not hire you today?
Yeah.
That's the question that we need to ask every politician running for office. And I did ask Dr. Murphy that one. Did I not? You remember that at the forum the first time he was running? You don't,
No, I don't remember that.
I was with the moderator, and I got to ask one question. That was my question.
You were the moderator.
Yeah, and I tell you, Rayford, there's only one
Out
problem.
there to election center out there on whatever the tax office area.
I don't remember you being the moderator.
Yeah, I did that.
I was chairman at the time.
Well,
I tell you, there's only one problem there, Rayford.
What's that?
Is that, and I know you're going to find this very hard to believe, but sometimes politicians can be less than honest in their
no
answers.
kidding. Do you not think that so many people will be less than honest? But you know, when you ask a question just like that, and I look at them, then I got something to come back on them with.
Yeah.
You told me, sir, that there was nothing that I would find out about in 6 months that it would cause me to regret voting for you. And you lied. I found out something.
Yeah.
So therefore, you're a liar. Yes. Their comments do have consequences.
They do.
So,
But like I say, I wouldn't really expect one of them to stand there and tell me 100% of the truth.
well, I don't expect
Even the best of them.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, we got to go. Got weather.
All right, guys. Thank
See
you.
ya.
Y'all have a blessed day.
You too. Bye. Marine weather outlook for the first part of this brand new week that we're in right now. Winds are going to become southerly through the early part of this week, getting stronger ahead of a strong cold front middle part of the week. Small craft advisory conditions are likely to occur during part of this week. Today, out to 60 nautical miles, easterly winds 5 to 10 knots, east 2 to 3 feet. Tuesday, tomorrow, southwesterly winds 10 to 15, increasing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon, 3 to 4 footers. Westerly winds on Wednesday, 20 to 25 knots, diminishing to 15 to 20 in the afternoon, 4 to 6 footers, showers and thunder boomers likely mainly in the morning.
Today we have a chance of late afternoon showers and thunderstorms, partly sunny with a high near 88. Tonight, a chance of showers, partly cloudy with a low around 70. Tuesday, partly sunny with a high near 92. And Wednesday, a chance of early morning showers, mostly sunny with a high near 92.
Two big old hurricanes, but they call them something else out there in the Pacific.
Yes, I saw that.
In the tropical Atlantic.
Nothing.
There you go.
Nothing. It's
No
cool.
cyclone development or activity is expected during the next 7 days. So
Right.
you're good to go for the weekend.
We're good to go. Now's a good time to get those generators out and get them primed up and take a look at your other
It's
stuff.
not too late, by the way, for those who might have put off. You know, sometimes if your power gives out and you're out for 3 or 4 or 5 days, as occurred during Florence, and little generators, sorry, they're not going to make you feel comfortable when the heat starts again.
But they will help.
They will help keep your freezers running, but only for as long as you've got gasoline.
That's right.
So make sure you have them serviced. If you don't, go out and start them. If you've got gas in them, go ahead and drain it out.
Drain it. Don't start it. Drain it first.
And then go ahead and put in just a little bit of gas, start it up, and then save that little bit of gas in there. Do not refuel it. And then go get yourself 5 gallons of ethanol-free gasoline. Go to a boat dealer somewhere, someplace that pumps gasoline for boaters. It's non-ethanol. I can't guarantee you that the gasoline you're going to get at a gas station, because even when they advertise non-ethanol, here's what you get. They come out of the same pump as your regular gas. And until you pump the first gallon or so out of that hose and the pump that's inside there, if the last person using it was getting, I don't know, regular gasoline premium, you're going to get premium regular gasoline for the first gallon or so. I hadn't thought about that, had you? Yep, that's what happens. If you go to a boat dealer that only pumps ethanol-free gasoline, guess what you're going to get? Because their pumps don't pump anything else. There's nothing else there to pump. Just your little tip for the day.
Okay, very good.
Now, if you want to go get some gasoline at a gas station that offers non-ethanol, go ahead and pump about 3 gallons of that gasoline, non-ethanol gasoline, into your car, and then fill your gas cans. That will be ethanol free.
Talking about the ocean, talking about the weather, I came across this one story that I thought was pretty awesome. It's a California man who went missing in the Pacific Ocean for more than a month has been found alive after surviving on scraps of food, fish, and even condensation collected from seawater while drifting far from help. Kai Sato, 39, set sail alone from Catalina Island on June 7th, bound for Hawaii. But disaster struck 2 weeks into the voyage when the mast on his sailboat snapped. Stranded outside major shipping lanes, big problem,
radio,
with no fuel and a dead phone, Sato said he spent days overwhelmed by despair as the current carried him further into the open ocean. How scary is that? He said, I cried for a week while drifting south like miserable. I felt like I was going to just try to turn my motor on and just suffocate, to kill myself. After several days, he began fashioning makeshift repairs with PVC pipes and kayak paddles. He survived on leftover oatmeal, fish and squid that landed aboard.
Yeah, that stuff flies.
And condensation collected in a bucket. I was just licking that to survive, he said. Nearly a month later, he drifted back into the California-Hawaii shipping route, where the crew of a container ship spotted and rescued him after 2 attempts to lower a rope ladder. That should be a movie of the week. Move over, Tom Hanks.
Absolutely.
I mean, what a story.
There have been a lot of those stories. Most of them don't end that well, but people just disappear. I can't imagine. I cannot imagine me going into the ocean anywhere without survival gear. Now I'm talking about food possibility.
For that long of a trip,
I would carry fishing gear, hooks. You would carry, because you could eat raw fish. I mean, people do it. They call it sushi all the time.
Fishing. Why?
Why would you not have hooks, fishing poles, stuff like that on board? I would go visit one of these places that offers MREs, surplus MREs. Get a few cases.
I bet he will now.
I bet he won't go back.
I bet the next time he takes a trip, he'll be fully stocked.
He probably won't go back. That usually is a one and done for folks like that.
It would be for me.
But I would be supplied with more stuff, flares. Obviously, even if the mast is down, if you got amateur radio, hams can fashion an antenna system on a boat. It doesn't have to be a tall mast. You can put an antenna up. You can make them out. There's wire on board. I can make antennas out of anything. Right. And I would be able to talk to somebody. Guaranteed.
Well, I guess he's going to become a ham radio operator.
Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
I can't imagine going into the ocean on a sailboat or any big boat going out of sight of land or beyond VHF radio range and not having long-range radio equipment. He had a satellite phone. It died. It's got a battery. It died.
Where's your battery backup? Well, a car radio battery.
There you go.
And hooked to that.
Oh, God.
I would say he probably wasn't as prepared as he will be the next time he takes a trip,
Should
even
he
if
do
it's
it?
a day trip.
Should he do it?
Could you see yourself just floating further out into the ocean?
Nope. No.
Something that Steve brought up, he was talking about slogans like "Make America Great Again."
Yeah, I like Ike. I was still like
Yeah, and you brought that up. Who said don't swap horses in midstream?
Teddy Roosevelt, probably.
Yes, it was. Let me see. I got looking up some of these.
Either that or Roy Rogers. So.
Give him hell, Harry. Well, that
Oh,
was a
right.
giveaway. That
Yeah.
was Harry Truman. Let me see. And the Ike was, I like Ike. And then his next campaign was, I still like Ike. All right. Whose campaign slogan was a time for greatness?
I don't know.
They also used, we can do it better. We can do better. And leadership for the 60s.
Wasn't that a mayonnaise?
I don't know. Leadership for the 60s.
I was it Kennedy?
Yes, you were
Yeah,
right. Ding, ding,
that
ding,
face
ding,
sounded
ding.
like him.
All right. I
Kinda
like this
wimpy,
one.
to be honest with you.
In your guts, you know he's nuts. That was a 1964 U.S. presidential campaign slogan of Lyndon B. Johnson supporters answering Goldwater's slogan. In your heart, you know he's in your guts, you know he's nuts. Okay. Here's one right here. Some people talk change, others cause it. Hubert Humphrey.
Oh, what a waste.
19 yeah.
He
Okay.
was a waste as VP.
Here was the 1972 Anti-Democratic Party slogan: acid, amnesty, and abortion for all. What? Oh,
Joe
here's
Biden. Hunter Biden.
Here's one right here. I can't even do it on air because it sounds nasty. It is nasty. I can't do it.
Worse than cougars?
They can't. No, I can't do it. No, because this is a family show. Okay. Well, most of the time anyway. All right. Who actually said, let's make America great again? Who originally came out with that?
I don't know. Make America Great Again is one thing. Let's Make America Great Again was somebody else. I forgot who it
Ronald
was.
Reagan.
Yeah, that's it.
And I like his, are you better off than you were 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and whose slogan was a tested and trustworthy team? Jimmy Carter and Walter Mondale. And then in 1984, here's a new one. It's morning again in America.
Somebody has just been
Ronald Reagan. Yes. I mean, these are 1992 for America for the People. That was a presidential campaign slogan of Bill Clinton. And then in 1992, also
Especially
another
certain
theme was,
people.
it's time to fix America. It's time to fix America. And then Trump comes out with Make America Great.
So let's fix America. It's time to fix America. Who was that?
Bill Clinton.
So wait a minute now. So he said there was something broken about America?
Evidently. And then we needed to fix it. How
Steve
far
just
is that
say
from Make America Great Again?
Well, didn't Steve just say he would have preferred that he said, let's do something, but be more positive. Let's fix America. That's saying that America is broken, right?
Well, yeah. Well,
You don't fix something that's not broken. Don't fix it unless it's broken. That's the rule.
here's one right here. Originally intended for an eternal audience, it became the de facto slogan for the Bill Clinton campaign. It's the economy, stupid.
Billy Bob.
Yeah. So, all right. Who was the stand by the president?
Hillary.
No, that's stand by your man.
Same thing.
George H.W. Bush. And then again, a proud country. And then again, another one, don't change my team in the middle of my stream. And Pat Buchanan, America First.
Yeah.
See, so I think slogans are slogans. And
there are slogan writers out there. There are people you hire. I don't know whether Trump came up with that Make America Great Again. I don't know.
Here's one: building a bridge to the 21st century. Bill Clinton.
What does the hat over there say that says "Keep America Great"?
Right. That came out for his second time he ran. Right, keep America great. Yeah. Anyway, there's lots of slogans.
So the third time he ran, it had to be "Make America Great Again," right?
Okay. Let me see. All right, we are the ones we've been waiting for. That was a campaign rallying cry of Barack Obama. And here's another one, Barack Obama campaign slogan: change we can believe in. So, if you look back at all these campaign,
they're all boring.
Make
America Great Again caught on because it could be pronounced MAGA.
Right.
That's the only reason that I think that it caught on.
Yeah, all right. Make America Great Again, used by Donald Trump's campaign, originally used by Ronald Reagan.
Slightly different form.
Mm-hmm. So, there's a lot here, and campaign slogans are the big deal. It's to catch your attention. And
it's like any kind of a promotion, any kind of a branding. Any branding that you do is nothing but a slogan of some sort or another, whether it's visual or whatever. Bands do it. You look for car. My God,
right?
Car manufacturers use different ones.
Well, here is like Gary Johnson's campaign, "Our Best America Yet." See, so he's a libertarian, but there's, some slogans catch on and go far. Others are like, yeah, whatever. Like Hillary for America. That was her campaign. And here's one right here by Clinton. Remember Hillary Clinton? One of her campaign slogans was "Love Trumps Hate," which is very catchy if you think about it. That's when she was running against Trump. Love Trump's hate. And so, and of course, this one right off the bat. This was very catchy. Feel the burn.
Oh, yeah.
Bernie Sanders.
First of all, love Trump's hate.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one you got to think about. Here's the problem with that. Have you ever seen a Pepsi-Cola commercial mentioning the word Coca-Cola in it?
No.
Do you ever see a radio station mentioning another radio station or another TV station mentioning another TV news operation? They don't talk. If you want to brand yourself, you don't mention the competition ever, for under no condition.
Well, a lot do. And
the problem is with politicians, they cannot not do that. They have to blast the other people. If you tell me what you got instead of blasting the other people, then let me decide whether I like you better. Or like an attorney told me one time, my client lied better than their client.
Yeah,
in a civil suit.
A campaign slogan, and a lot of them used to go after the opponent, and you've seen it all through the years.
Yep.
You can go back to 1900s. You can go way back, and you're going to find where the other guy or woman went after the other, after the opponent. That's just. And I think the MAGA, I think that's a great campaign slogan, but there's so many people out there that hate it because it's Trump.
Because it's Trump. Yeah.
Because it's Trump. So it is very catchy, and it caught on well, and it made a lot of money. And still continues to do that.
It did. And, will it ever be used again? Probably in another 30 years. Somebody's going to drag it up just like they did with Reagan's. And they're going to dust it off and reuse it for whatever purpose.
But there's been a lot of slogans over the years, regardless of whether Libertarian, Democrat, or Republican, or whatever, have come out with some catchy slogans.
Yeah.
And that's what it's marketing. I do want to talk about
Winston tastes good.
Yeah. Like a cigarette should. And what was Marlboro?
The Marlboro Man.
Yeah, I knew that. I was trying to think, did he have a slogan?
Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. You know how powerful that one was? It was, what is today's slogan for Winston cigarettes?
I don't know. Somebody's calling me from Clinton.
That was Bill. Well, here's the thing about it. The power of the broadcast industry. The last time you heard Winston tastes good like a cigarette should was in 1972 when the cigarette ads were forbidden. Tobacco products were taken off of all advertising on radio and TV. You could not use, they could not advertise anymore.
Right.
You do not know what today's is, and today's slogan for Winston cigarettes is on every billboard and every newspaper and every magazine article.
Marlboro was come to Marlboro Country. Marlboro Country. That was 1965. Camel, I'd walk a mile for a camel.
That works.
Dunhill, which I don't know. At 5'5", only Dunhill will do. I have no clue. Winston was "This is your world, this is your Winston." That was in 1980.
See, as I said, 1972 was the last time you heard the one that you will remember.
Salem, "The taste will win you over." That was in 94. Pall Mall, New York's taste since 1899. The only one I remember is the Winston tastes good.
Like a cigarette.
Yeah, that's the only one I can remember. But
how about this one? Philip Morris calling Philip. The guy walking through the lobby of a hotel and calling Philip Morris. He licked the little bellhop guy.
Keep calling me.
Calling Philip Morris. Calling Philip.
Okay. I had no clue whatsoever.
Philip Morris cigarettes.
Yes.
Those are the very few that you will remember. It's got to be special to get their attention. There are professionals out there who look for these things, try to come up with them, try to sell them to the manufacturers, to the dealers.
Right. This is the town of Clinton. I know what they're calling about. And I left a message after 9 o'clock. After 9 o'clock.
Well, good.
It's 8:51.
It's after 9 somewhere. They want to get an early start.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to Jacksonville again. The Museum of the Marine, the Carolina Museum of the Marine. You know, they're keeping track of people's zip codes when they come in and visit. So far, they've gotten people, 35 out of 50 states have visited the Museum of the Marine.
Who are the holdouts?
And they've only been, we're talking about Alaska, Connecticut, Mississippi, New Hampshire, North Dakota, South Dakota, Vermont, Wyoming. Those are some of the holdouts. All right, y'all need to get busy. Get that plane ticket and come on down. But they're hoping to be able to say all 50 states. All 50 states.
They will.
Yes,
it's only been open a month.
Right. Yes. So I think that's pretty good, though. They've only been open a month, and already they've had visitors, 35 different states.
Doing well, no problem.
Yes.
Okay. What have we got coming up? Who we got coming up this week?
I've got people that I just have to verify today, but I think we're going to have a good week. I don't really give out names right now, but till I confirm them today. We have one special guest that's coming in that is a Purple Heart. Was in the Air Force, shot down while flying his plane.
Ugh.
So we're going to talk a little about it, history, and he's from Onslow County. So with that and several other things. So stay tuned.
I'm just looking at some of the silliness that's on some of the websites.
Wow. I was just reading Law and Crime. They have this case right here, crime details. This is how crazy people are. Michael Caine, 39, fatally stabbed his upstairs neighbor, 22-year-old Esmeralda Romero, after a dispute over water dripping from her patio. He faces murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and tampering with evidence. He's being held without bond. The conflict escalated after Romero reported harassment to the leasing office, and Caine attacked her as she left, stabbing her multiple times before calling 911, but it was evidently, it was over spilled water is how it started. And over spilled water on her deck that dripped down to his.
God.
Was that worth it?
No.
People are crazy, I'm telling you.
You know, illegal immigrants driving tractor trailer rigs,
Mm-hmm.
they're not supposed to be able to drive them because of federal rules unless they can speak English, number one.
Right.
And I don't think, if they're illegals, how
Mm-hmm.
can you even get a license to
That's
drive?
what I'm asking.
I don't understand. They're just highlighting, they're going through here, those involved in 18-wheeler crashes where people are hurt or killed.
Yes.
In Oregon, 2 killed in a crash. In Ontario, California, 4 hospitalized, 3 killed in a crash. Apparently, there are a lot of these. I did not know that. A Haitian national charged in Pennsylvania trooper's death. He entered the U.S. under Biden's parole program. He's been charged with murdering a state trooper. Now, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, they got, they're ramping up operations to locate and arrest Haitian nationals whose temporary protected status, what they call TPS, is expected to end imminently.
I don't get it.
Multiple federal sources are revealing this. The expanded operation is expected to begin as soon as this week. So those folks who came in here with temporary protected status have had time to get their mess together, which has been over 2 years, and they haven't done anything
I'm
about it.
telling you.
They're going to round them up and they're going to deport them.
Some of the, well, we have a new
One of them
detention center coming in North Carolina.
One of them
so-
they're not going to deport. They're going to put him in prison for murder. Murdering a state trooper.
well,
Murdering
yeah.
a state trooper in
You know my
Pennsylvania.
feelings on that.
Why is he alive?
Without possibility of parole.
No, why is he alive?
Well, when's the last time you had somebody come to your house to do some type of service call? Like say on a washing machine or a refrigerator or a stove or
We had
anything.
stove earlier this year.
Okay. 45-year-old Indiana woman will spend a decade behind bars for shooting at a repairman she called to look at her dryer, Rayford,
He didn't do a good job?
telling the man she was going to pop a cap in him because he charged her $70 fee, which is that's pretty standard.
Did she call him? To come do the work?
Marion
What did
County's
she expect he was going to charge?
good question. She pled guilty to 1 count each of intimidation with the use of a deadly weapon, an unlawful possession of a firearm by a serious violent felon, go figure. In exchange for her plea, prosecutors agreed to drop additional charges of criminal confinement, criminal recklessness, and pointing a firearm.
Drop charges.
I'm right there with you.
Quit dropping charges. This let's make a deal stuff. That show has been off TV for a long time.
I'll take door number 2. The sentence stems from a confrontation at Wilson's Indianapolis home in March 2024 when a self-employed appliance repair technician arrived to diagnose a clothes dryer that was not heating. After determining the problem, he told her she owed him the standard $70 house call fee. She refused to pay, reportedly claiming that the appliance was still under warranty. Sorry, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And she pulled a gun on him.
You know,
Put a gun in his
if you're going to
face.
call a repair guy, you need to make sure that you understand and that they understand. I have a warranty on this. Is this covered?
Look. He said, so when I went to leave, she pointed a gun right at me in front of her house and forced me to stay there and said, you're going to fix my dryer. That's where the confinement charge came
That's
in.
illegal, yeah.
Oh, they said she blocked the front door while pointing a black and silver handgun at the repairman who pretended to get back to work before making a run for the back door. And she fired a shot in his direction.
That's attempted murder, assault with intent to commit
If you come to my house to fix my dryer, I will pay the $70 fee. I'm just, I need my dryer fixed.
Just
Anyway.
put up a clothesline. Don't worry about it.
No, it's got like 4 different heating cycles and only one heating cycle works. I just think I need a new switch. I just
Well,
need to.
fix it yourself.
I'm going to order it and pop it in there.
No.
That ought to do it.
And
If not,
if that doesn't work,
you'll see it on the curb. Yes.
if it does, well, did you get rid of your old refrigerator?
They took it with them
Why?
because it's not worth all that. Look, it was so big. They had
Uh-huh.
to take it apart to get it out of the house.
That's okay.
That's okay. They
Put it on my
took it.
trailer. I'll take it.
Yeah, well, for what, $18? It's not-
Yeah, 25, 30, probably the bigger one you got.
Well, anyway, I love my new refrigerator
Good.
because now they come out with counter depth. They just extend past the counter a couple of inches, and it's a little shorter, and it's so neat, and it makes the kitchen look so much bigger now to get rid of that great
So
big one.
short friends can come over and get a beer out of the top with no problem.
Well, and it has 3 doors. And it's but I really thought after I discovered that my smoke alarms weren't going off this morning that I was the refrigerator making all that crazy noise.
So you were getting ready to call them.
I was getting ready to call the fire department to come find out what alarm was going off at my house. Little did I know it was the ham radio.
It was you.
Frightful way to start the week, Rayford.
Well, maybe
Anyway.
through it. It's 9 o'clock. Got to go goodbye.
Yeah.
Say good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. Stick with us this week. We're going to have some great guests on.
Well, glad to be back. I wish I was gone again, but I'll wait for a little while. You're live and local. Real talk. We are awake.
Never woke.
Never woke. Never gonna be woke. Don't want to be woke. I don't even want to wake up sometimes. But I did early this morning. Now it's been, let's see, that was been 4 o'clock.
5
That's 5
hours,
hours ago.
yeah.
I need a nap.
You do need a nap. You've already been up half the day.
That's right. Time to eat some hamburgers.
Right.
Bye. See
Bye,
you.
everyone.